Okay, trying to get some work done now. Yeah, it's after 8 o'clock, so it's time to get some work done finally. It's hard to get any work done during the summer. Everybody wants me to talk on the phone and come and bother me. Okay, we're going to work on some thunderhead, sportster heads here. So I had some special valves made up for them. So Manley made these for me. So there's what I'm looking for. Okay, here's the original valves. Here's the ones we had made up. So they're pretty close. Anyway, turns out they're 8mm. I think they used to be metric back in the 70s, early 80s, but they did. Okay, so my problem is right now is customer lost a keeper. So I have to come up with a keeper that nobody has. So these are what the keepers and the original collar look like. And somewhere around here I got the valve springs. There they are. So I'm going to have to make, you can't buy the keepers. These are bead lock. Drop a few more times. Bead block means they have a radius groove on it, and it takes a radius groove right there. So when you lost one of those, you're screwed. So this angle is way more than 10 degrees, which is what Manley only does 10 degrees. They got two different 7-degree keepers, and they got 10-degree keepers. So these are all the different 10-degree keepers here. There's 3 different variations, and I got all 3. So we gotta make these, figure out what we're gonna use to make it all work. Which is always fun. Okay, so there's the spring that goes in there. Looks similar to like an old sifting spring. Might be old sifting springs, that's why they got little collars in them. Okay, except they didn't run bead locks on those. Okay, so closest thing I can come up to is this one here. So we had the valves made. We had the this is straight 8mm all the way down the stem. This one's 1132 and it's cut down to 8mm top. So this duplicated the stock valve that was made for length, but the problem is you can't use an aftermarket keeper on that valve. So this here is a stock one. So there's plenty of room in there. Well, the keepers I had were top groove, which means they're way at the very top. That's where the groove is at. So that's a negative keeper groove, I guess. The problem I run into, see it overhangs the fat part of the valve, so the keeper is not straight. So you can't use it on a stock valve. You can only use it on the intake valve, because it's the same size all the way down. Okay, that's if you're using a stock location. Now his keeper though is made different. His are on the bottom. See, they're on the bottom. So you got bottom, middle, and top. So they sent me all 3 keepers here, a pair of each. Okay, that looks like the same one we just had. Number's different. Not much of a change there. Okay, so that one's got about 40 thou overlap. That one looks like it just clears. It's right on the edge of that, so that's a standard probably. This one must be the low one, which we need, maybe. And now you're up there above the groove pretty far now. So even though these all look the same, they're made differently. Okay, what they're doing is they're cutting the groove down from the top so you can't see that it's shorter. See, this one's all down the side of a big shoulder, this one here is almost flush. Okay, so those are 3 different ones. So what we have to do is figure out which one we need. Okay, 51. So we know we don't need the bad one. 50 we don't use. So it's going to be one of these 2 here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the stock keepers here and the stock collar. Run it up the valve without dropping it. Okay. That gives me a height. There's an exhaust valve. Now we take this collar. We're going to use the maximum amount of offset here. Pull it nice and tight. I like those. Okay, now we get an overall dimension here. See what we got. So we're going to take our 6-inch scale, go from the top of the inside spring pocket. We're going to measure all the way to the bottom of the valve. So it looks like we're around 830 thousandths to the bottom. We'll take this genuine one here, and we're going to do the same measurement. Okay, see how we're on the other side of the 800. So this one here we're about 775 or so. Okay, 780. So we're about 40 or 50 thou different. So that means this one here is too much. Quit moving. No, won't move now. So I'm going to try the middle keeper. If this is a 50 thou movement, we're good. If it's 25 movement, we're not good. I have to read the book to see how much it was. Bingo. So we're about 770 now, so a little bit less than this one. This one doesn't lock in, so you have to pull it a little bit. So see, that one's all just under 800, barely, about 10 thou under. So we're kind of in between right now. This one's too much and the other one's not enough. So it looks like we moved about 100 thousandths almost. So it's a toss-up on which one of these ones is going to be used. I don't know what the application is on the head, how much clearance we got. This is going to jack the spring in tighter, which is going to compress it quite a bit, so that might be a problem. Which means that's not good. So go back to this one over here. Wear them in a little bit, pull them tight. This one's about an extra 30 thou or so. So I think what we're going to do is going to go with this one here, and we can always stick a 30 thou shim under it if he needs it. So he had a shim over here already. I think they're just using the shim as a valve collar, which is not really a valve collar. So if I duplicate this shim here, we should be okay. The caliper went off too. Yeah, I know this was in the motor, so if I can get something that's about the same size as this, we should be good. So it looks like I got about a 783 thousandths hole. Let's see if I got something here that's about 30 thou thick. Okay, go over here to my shim department, which is down here. See if we can't find anything over here. With a big ass hole in it. That's not 60 thousandths thick. Not quite big enough hole. There we go. I think that'll work. It's not quite big enough on the OD, but it's close enough. And looks like about the ID might work. I'll go back over here and measure this one. About 785. About 770. So hopefully that's enough to go around it. If not, he'll have to cut a little bit. Okay, so that should give me what I want. It's about 30 thou thick. Perfect. So if we stick this in there, he can shim it up with this if he needs it. If not, he doesn't have to use it. So that'll make it work. So that's how you take care of that problem. If it's a little bit too small on the ID, you have to take a little burr in there and grind it out a little bit. So that'll take care of that. Okay, now the seals over here. Looks like I got some other washers in here. Some kind of a fancy spacer thing. Okay, looks like that does not go through. Looks like it sits on top of that, or maybe, I don't know how it works. Okay, this does not go around it, so I'm going to have to go back and grind this until it goes inside of here. Okay, I'll go do that. So, looks like it is going to matter, so we'll make it fit. Alright, so I'll go do that in a little bit. Okay, these are the seals that he has here. 5/16, 5/30 diameter. So these are your basic modern style Sportster seals that don't fit ironhead motors very well. So probably look like this one right here. Those are valve guides though. XL intake. It looks like these. Some other ones. These have smaller guide holes. Okay, let's see if this will work for the application. Come on, camera. Looks like the same overall width, length. 5/30. We're definitely small enough on the stem. It says Sportster intake, that means it's 5/16 as far as I'm concerned. Yep, it goes on. Okay, so I can set him up with 4 valve seals if he wants them. have to find out if he wants those or not. My guess is he probably will. Okay, so we'll leave those out for him. Okay, so all that works. What's nice about this, it works on all the valves, so whatever valve he puts on will work. Okay. Now I need to make this go where this one goes. That's 1054, 55. This is 48. Looks like it'll fit. Look at that. I think it's made for it. Okay, there you go. So the only difference looks like is the OD. That was the OD variable. 421. It's probably 1.5 inches, I bet. Nope. 440, 20 thou bigger. So if I make off 20 thou off that, it'd work. 20 thou off there, I don't think it's really needed. It's a lot bigger than the spring is, so I'll go ahead and cut it off. Yeah, it's bigger than the spring too. Okay, so all I gotta basically do is cut that off. Should be fine. The next thing I gotta worry about is the step. Looks like the step's gonna be a little bit different in height. That would be slightly a problem. Looks like it's about 190 thousandths. Measuring from here to here. About 180. Another way of measuring that is you go like this. Here. Set your 0. And measure that. That's 200 thousandths. Okay. This one here, it ain't no 200 thou. 0. It's 105. So I need 90 thousandths buildup on this one here. So basically needs a washer on here. That'll be a little bit harder to make. So the washer has to go around this diameter right here. It's going to have to go no bigger in diameter than what that is. 832, 824. So I need a washer. It's got 474 thousandths. 100 thou thick. So, no, it wasn't 100 thou. It was, yeah, 95 thou. It's close. Yeah, we have to be in the ballpark, not to be exact. So, I'd rather not have to make them from scratch. I'm thinking what I can use. Problem is the diameter is real small. So an AN washer get us closer, probably about 80 thousandths, 75, 80. So I'm thinking of an AN washer would work. So let me go find an AN washer. I'll be back. Okay, I got it all set up here now. Took some hunting, but I finally found the parts I needed. So there's a complete assembly. It's assembled using my collar and keeper. This is the original over here. So let's see, I still got to turn the OD of this down a little bit, so I'll go do that next. I forgot to. Okay, so basically, this washer here goes right down over the collar right there. Picks up the gap I need, which makes it the same overall height as this, basically. It's all not quite identical, but it's pretty damn close to it. For what the height of that is. This one's a little bit taller. And it's a little bit lower. We're about 15 thou short here. 12 thou or so that I measured, but it'll work. 12 thou ain't gonna make no difference. So the spring, the inner spring sits on top of that one. The outer spring sits on the base of it. Yeah. What's going on here? Well, it don't fit. There it goes. pops you too. Okay, so that makes it basically almost flush up here on the top, because they're not using a collar that has a recessed shoulder in it. They're just going right against, recessing in there that deep, quite so deep. So where's the one I made? Okay, this is the original one here. That still is going to get used. And then this is my extra one. If they want to use it or not, it's up to them. I ground out the ID so it fits in there now. So that fits on there, and that goes on there. Now it's all put together, that should have the same assembly height as the stock setup within probably 10th thou. And the other one's over here. Just in the package, here's another one here. But basically it duplicates having this part. And we're using my keepers. So that whole combination will give you what it needs. Replaces the one that he lost. And we're down the road. So anyway, take a little work, a couple hours of playing around mixing and matching parts, but there we go. We got what we need. So now we got the full set of Manley valves here. And good to go. So there's another one. So he has a new setup there for his motor. So these are for the thunderheads they made back in the 70s and early 80s. And I got an extra set I had made up, so if anybody needs a set, I have an extra set here. So I'm sure there'll be more. I can get more made because I know what dimensions I make them. So I can get them made up to whatever we want. So anyway, that's how you do it. So this one's ready to ship out and go to the customer. Okay, I got the spring collar cut down now. So that's what it looks like. It all radiused over. Not quite as much clearance in the back side as what they did. I don't know if that's mandatory or not. So hopefully it's not. If it is, I'll have to do some more cutting later, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, it looks good the way it is to me. So like I say, you got the washer sitting on top of the spring there. It all self centers. So there's our kit. Good to go. That's it for that. So pack it up and get it out of here.